Hey, so most professional athletes have sponsors. I decided I'd just sponsor myself. I'm going to read off some notes from my laptop, but I'll be riffing from my own brain. So there's not really a script, but there is some bullet points that I'm going to follow as I talk. So why I'm sponsoring myself to become a professional grappler and how business funds it. Quick mention, I've been grappling since I was 14 years old. Back in 2016. I'm now 23. I'm a brown belt, and I want to go pro one day. Building a business that pays for training, travel, and living was a big goal I had over the past few years so I can chase a world-class grappling career without waiting for a sponsor or to achieve a certain level of skill to merit being able to live off of my grappling skill. I think I did the order a bit different. So I started jiu-jitsu when I was 14. I was instantly hooked, but there were a couple of breaks I had to take. One year I ran cross country in high school and ran for a year. I think the best time I got was like 18:42 for a 5K. So that's like 3.107 miles. That's 6 minutes, 14 seconds a mile. That was like my best. My best 2 mile ever in the military was 12:01. And then one year between Army, COVID, and Special Forces assessment and selection, Army obligations, that also took a year from training. So I'd say across 9 years, I've trained 7 years of true consistency in training. But now I'm 23 at brown belt, feeling like I'm playing catch up a bit, but with a solid foundation, I think. Whereas some people started their jiu-jitsu journey at 23, I got to start mine when I was 14, and say like if I consider the next phase of hyper learning or learning really quickly in jiu-jitsu, putting all my time focused into learning, I get to start with a good foundation as a brown belt, which is pretty cool. I'm definitely thankful than maybe not starting with nothing. So other people have started later and still made it using youth plus resources, strategically to close the gap. So with the time I have with my business and the money I have to fund, be it like a personal trainer or nutrition, I think I can get something going along that path. So why I started this business, which is to buy time and freedom to train more. What I do, the company I own is called Grapple Growth, Grapple space growth, and I build smart websites for gyms, local businesses, get them ranked higher on Google, automate lead capture and follow-ups, general marketing consulting, and I keep their sites updated. With these, I'll build them their website, and they'll probably, I'll charge them like $2,000 for a build out, which I think is fair. $1,000 up front, then I get everything 100% to their satisfaction before I charge the second half of the $1,000, and then I'll charge $300 a month for retention. The win-win logic behind this is that if I ever get them to retain students of their gym, say like 2 or 3 members that stay, everything else past that they get to keep as profit, and I cover my minimum expense. So the only real investment that, if I do my job properly, is the initial $2,000, and then when we get a few clients coming in, it covers my minimum cost, which is the main goal. The reason this is cool is because I'm on call in case my clients need an update, but I do such a good job in the beginning that there's not many updates needed other than me overviewing and making sure everything's set up as far as their how high they're ranked on Google, how their Google business page is set up properly, and any updates like pictures, schedule changes, events showing up in their local area that I'll do ongoing, which is why there's an ongoing website hosting / upkeep fee, and everyone's been pretty happy with the results. So I generate leads for them, I get them ranked higher on Google, and make their lives a lot easier, stuff like that. So while I'm sponsoring myself, instead of needing sponsors early, I kind of became my own sponsor, or self-sponsorship. Grapple Growth, which is my company, I'm eventually going to have logo and name on my rash guard, so as I get better and better at jiu-jitsu, as I grow in grappling, it makes Grapple Growth more interesting, and as Grapple Growth grows, it funds more training, and my passion happens to overlap with my business. Though I can help any local business with these concepts, me overlapping my passion of jiu-jitsu with local business growth and helping jiu-jitsu gyms and MMA gyms, it's like a win-win situation. And then that business, Grapple Growth, pays for travel and tournaments, covering living expenses so training hours can increase, invest in content and branding, just like I'm doing now. directionally between business and grappling, I want to put all my resources into those two things. Whatever attributes I can attain, whether that's getting stronger in grappling or getting better at the skill of grappling itself, or the proper nutrition, X, Y, and Z, or hiring an editor, for example, to edit videos and then reinvesting in my clients to get the better and better results. So that is the direction I'm headed. And then, the long game, recognizing I lost some peak years, 18 to 22, which is like the optimal youth years of learning, between Army and my business, getting that off the ground. Now I'm making them up. I'm excited to see what happens with a solid foundation that I have now, with 5 to 6 days of training per week and minimal financial distractions other than the 4 to 6 hours of actual manual work I do every day, which is just community management with my community, posting content, helping current clients, taking sales calls, learning more and strategizing. I'd say it doesn't go usually more than 4 hours. All my other hours can go into building and training and making content. So that is how that's looking right now, and see how far I can go with that as my build out in the next 10 to 15 years. And then I want to build something that funds my passion instead of hoping someone else will fund it. That's what I'm going to do. Now, if sponsorships come later as I get better and better, then that's just a bonus. As my personal brand grows, that'll be also a bonus. But I think that's my main focus in the beginning, is really making sure that between business and grappling, the skill of grappling, I have a good foundation. And if you want to follow my journey between jiu-jitsu, business, building my brand, if you run a local gym, run a local business, a jiu-jitsu gym, MMA gym, and want the kind of growth that lets you do what you love full-time, feel free to hit me up. Maybe Grappler Growth can help you like it's helping me right now. And yeah, that's why I'm doing these two things at once. I have worked hard for the past few years to make my company profitable, and I plan to keep growing that and adding all the new strategies to future clients while also putting more and more time towards my grappling career. So I think that covers everything for today. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.